Ladies and dudes, I got some bad news to tell you, and I know that people are going to kill me for this. But it's time for me to do a brand new top 5 list that nobody has never done before of a couple of Liam Neeson films here and there that I don't want to rewatch again. Yep, they're gonna kill me for it. That's for sure. Well, anyway, hi, ladies and dudes. This is Rebecca Loom Barkley, aka Boop1987. This is my review for today. And today's review, ladies and dudes, well, I thought of it in my head. Let's make a brand new top 5 list that nobody has never done before. And it's something that I think it'll give people nightmares about. And since I am an old gray-minded Liam Neeson fan, and I really love a couple of his interesting films here and there, but the biggest films I really do care about the most is the part where he's fully in it. No, well, his supporting roles can be good too, but the short ones are not allowed, if you know what I mean. I just want to look for some of the Liam Neeson films here and there where he's full-fledged. You know, he's there all the way through from start to finish in a movie. There'll always be some good, interesting films that'll always come from the bottom of my own heart, if you know what I mean. But sadly, there are some films that I'm not very interested in. And I know it's gonna be a very big nightmare for all of you. For all you, oh great, my Liam Neeson fans out there. So sadly, for my top 5 list of the day is the top 5 of which Liam Neeson films that I don't want to rewatch again. What should I say about these movies? These 5 important movies that will be on the list. There are 2 good films that are very enjoyable, but sadly they have some flaws. And for the other 2 movies, I will say, yeah, they're okay, but they're getting a lot worse. And one film is truly a big giant nightmare for me. One big important movie that is truly the oh great to mighty Liam Neeson's most worst, biggest film of all, and has the most biggest flaws of all. I guess you want to know which one of these movies are. So without further ado, ladies and dudes, let's head on to my top 5 of which Liam Neeson films that I don't want to rewatch again. And I got a paper to prove it. So let's get this whole thing started. Coming at number 5, I wonder if everybody knows this movie or not, that featured Harrison Ford, and also it featured a submarine. And it was based by a true story, if I remember right. Sadly, I only saw this movie once, and I never seen it again. But there was one thing I don't like about the film, and I gotta do my best to edit it for everything. So yeah, coming at number 5 goes to K-19, The Widowmaker. Oh yeah, that movie's pretty darn enjoyable, and if I remember right, it was directed by the ex-wife of James Cameron, if I remember that lady who directed that film. Well, it has been a while. Yes, it is a Russian story, and it's all about these guys being trapped in a submarine thing, and there was a little bit of chaos going on. But yeah, to tell you the truth is, the reason why I never watched this movie again, it has something to do with that very terrible word. A word that I felt uncomfortable with, and that's the reason why I never rewatched that movie again, because of that word. Something that Ronald Reagan was trying to warn us about. If you know what that word is, but I gotta keep it edited, no matter what. But one of the best parts I like about that movie is the great man Liam Neeson's performance, and boy, he played a very hot character. I mean, his character's so darn hot. I mean, he was pretty darn gorgeous in the film. So yeah, I wish I could say more about this film that featured Harrison Ford in it. It deserves to be at number 5. Here's the most heartbreaking moment at number 4. Cold Pursuit. One of the things I will appreciate about this film is the interesting fun facts that I found with this movie. A lot of great fun facts to be found. If you pay attention to my movie review of Cold Pursuit, I did tell you about some interesting fun facts that I did found with this film here and there. But the reason why I did not rewatch this movie again is because there are 2 scenes that are kind of inappropriate for this film. One that featured a very ugly word that I don't feel comfortable with. I gotta keep it edited. And also the shocking plot twist that involves the villain. I really hate that. If they could cut those 2 ugly scenes off for this movie, maybe I will get a chance to rewatch this movie again. But sadly, I only watched this movie twice. One in the theater and one at home. I'm sorry, everybody. I cannot watch this movie again because of those 2 awful scenes in the film. And I'm so darn sorry for poor Michael, since his character died in the beginning. Sadly to say. So yeah, Cold Pursuit deserves to be at number 4. And we're on to the decent one for number 3. Taken 3. I can't remember how many times I did see this movie, like 5 or 6, but it's been a long time. I had not watched this movie for a while, so I vowed to never watch this film ever again. Well, the only good things I like about Taken 3 is we found out the truth that Kim is pregnant, we found out the truth that Stuart St. John's the villain, Sam Casey and Bernie got a role in the film, Forrest Whitaker had a really good performance as the Inspector dude, and also it had a pretty good epic score. But the bad thing I hate about this film is they gave us the wrong storyline at the wrong time. Poor Letty dies for no reason without getting to know her backstory, and Brian Mills got framed by a crime that he did not commit. And also, they destroyed Brian and Lenny's relationship. Seeing them as continuing on being friends is nothing but a big giant plot hole to the story. It did ruin the foreshadowing moment that came from both Taken 1 and Taken 2. And this is the reason why this movie does suck. Big time. And our least favorite film of the Taken saga. I hope everybody will like my idea about Taken 3 way better than the idiot screenwriter's idea for Taken 3. Sadly, those 2 movies are the ones I got. And now let's go on to the other last 2 movies I don't have. Sadly, for number 2, and I know people will boo at me for this. Number 2 goes to the Schindler's List. I know what people will say. I'm sorry, ladies and dudes. I'm not interested in the Schindler's List. And thanks to the great and mighty Liam Neeson, he did found some flaws about it. I'm not lying to you. He did found some flaws about this movie. Something that he felt uncomfortable with. I will say it was an okay movie for me. but not my favorite Liam Neeson film. I think this movie is way too overrated for everyone's taste. And yes, I did see this movie in history class, but I only saw parts of it here and there. I haven't seen the whole movie, and I did see it again on TV, but I refused to get it on the library. And one of the movie reviews, one of the movies I don't want to do for review. This movie was way too overrated for my taste, sadly to say, and I'm not a big fan of this important part that happened in World War II about what happened to those poor Jewish people. They were suffering by those evil monsters. You know, I gotta keep it edited. You already know who these people are. I'm not allowed to say it, because I want these evil monsters to be erased in history. If you know what I mean. It's way too torturing. I can understand why Liam Neeson is afraid of this film, and we should all be afraid of it too. We cannot let history repeat itself, ladies and dudes. We have to get rid of it right away. This is very darn important to all of us. And I think it would have been better if Steven Spielberg should have found someone else to play Oscar Schindler. I think Liam Neeson wasn't a good choice to play Oscar Schindler. I think he doesn't fit the character right. I think he's more of a Michael Collins fan. I think Liam Neeson is much better as Michael Collins than Oscar Schindler. That's for sure. So, yep, the Schindler's List deserves to be at number 2. And finally, I don't need my paper anymore. We already know what the number 1 of which Liam Neeson film that I don't want to rewatch again. And it's truly the old great to mighty Liam Neeson's most biggest, worst film of all. If you remember my movie review very, very well. And that is Third Person. I hate Third Person. One of the worst Liam Neeson films I have ever watched in my whole entire life. It's a very terrible film. And Liam Neeson, he had the worst character, worst performance, and the worst role I have ever seen in movie history. I mean, I hope and pray the old great and mighty Liam Neeson will feel his regret for making that terrible film of hell. I mean, it's one of the worst. It'll give me nightmares for the rest of my life. If you know me very, very well about this evil film, and something I will never forgive that idiot Paul Haggis for. He put our beloved actor in one of the worst films ever in movie history. What else I could say? So yeah, Third Person deserves to be the number 1 of which Liam Neeson film that I don't want to rewatch again for the rest of my life. Enough said. So those were my top 5 of which Liam Neeson films that I don't want to rewatch again. And it'll be my heartbreaking question to ask you guys. Which one of the Liam Neeson films that you don't want to rewatch again for the rest of your life? Whichever it is, leave a comment there and let me know. And join me next time. We will make a hopeful list for all of you. I will do my top 6 of which Liam Neeson films that I do want to rewatch again. And be happy, these great films will be there on my list. Just 6. 6 great films. So I can make Benjamin Williams proud. I gotta put his favorite number in there. So, that is it for now. I'll see you guys later, and sayonara.